The time has come. Take this thing out with the Dragy. See what it can do. See if it'll fire up. Okay, so the Dragy is this little thing here. It's a GPS thing. Hook it to your phone. It gives you like 60-foot times, 330-foot times, eighth mile times, quarter mile, half mile, all that stuff with accurate miles per hour, accurate times. It's magnetic, so I'm going to stick it right to the bike right there when I get out to the street to do the tests, see what this thing runs. When I had the 140 in this thing with tiny tires and a 22 millimeter carb on a windy 50-degree day at the drag strip 5 years ago, it ran at 18.8 at like 62.5 miles an hour. So as long as we can beat that with the 212, we'll be sitting good. So I gotta go to the gas station, top it off with gas because it's a little bit low. Go out to the street. Hopefully there's not a bunch of traffic because it's that time of the day where there is, but it's easier on the bike than the car to just pull over and get out of people's way. So I'm gonna go fill this thing up, hit the street, and then we'll get some quarter mile times. My goal is to get a 10-second eighth mile and I don't know, maybe like a 16, somewhere in the 16s for the quarter at anything over like 75 miles an hour would be nice. It's a little windy today and it's kind of chilly, like 58 degrees, but it's better than it's been all week. So I'm gonna at least get a few runs in to see what it does, and then we can do more on nicer days and see how much things change. And this will also be nice to compare when I switch the carburetor on this, if it affects any of the times that we get, whether it be faster or slower or whatever. It's good for collecting data on just everything. It's a cool thing to have. So we'll see what it does. I don't know. Put your guesses in the comments now, what you think it's gonna hit. Filled up with some good old trusty 91. Heading out to the road now. Alright, Dragy's all connected. I'll stick it right here. Come to a complete stop. We'll bang out a quarter mile run. See what happens. Reset. That one was a 17.07 quarter mile. Eighth mile was a 10.34, so I nailed the quarter mile that I wanted to get, so that's good. We were going into the wind pretty hard, so I'm going to do another one going this way, see if it's any different at all, but I'm happy with that. 17, so we shaved off 1.8 seconds from with the 140, which is pretty good. Maybe with the window. Maybe we're going into the wind, we'll try it the other way and see. I don't know, I'm not really good at launching this thing without flipping over backwards, so that's another thing I gotta kind of get down to get the times a little bit better, but I'm not mad about that. Okay. I'm just pumped about the eighth mile. 0 to 60 in 8.9 seconds. Wait for the cars to die down, I'll go around this curve and I'll do another one going that way. See if it's close to that one or not. After this truck, we'll go out and do another one the other direction, see if anything changes. I really want to hit a 16 quarter mile. Even if it's a 16.99, I don't care. I just want a 16. Maybe I'll try to launch it a little bit better without going too crazy. Reset, it's ready to go. A good one. A lot less windy this way. That was a 16.59 quarter mile with a 10.1 eighth mile. Ooh, I'm happy with that. I'm super happy with that. Alright, I'm going to pretty much call this one a day. I just wanted to get one run. This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to come to the same road every time I do this for the most part, because this is the longest, flattest road I can find. It's like a 0.2 degree. So not even a quarter of a degree incline versus decline depending on what way you go. And if you're on a street that's anywhere over like 1 degree, the Dragy will say it's not, you know, it'll say it's not valid as a run, so you're not going downhill getting better times. But I'm pretty much going to use the same road every time I do it on different weather, different days or whatever, and then compare things from there. It's the same road I did my car on, so it's good to get some data on that. I'm happy with that. So, oh, the Dragy did slide a little bit, put that in my pocket. But if anybody else has a Dragy, want to compare times or whatever, or even like a real time slip from a drag strip, that's cool. It's kind of fun to just kind of compare in the racing aspect of things. I mean, it's fun for me to just take this thing out and just go do wheelies all the time, but it's fun too to do stuff like this and like get drag, you know, quarter mile times and mile per hour and all that stuff. When I get back to the house, I'll go through the actual time slips so you can see the mile per hour and the eighth and all that stuff too. But I'm gonna head there now. I'm just gonna act like I'm at the drag strip and just fucking. Give her from the light. Wheelie through second. That's like my favorite thing about this is like it brings the wheel up in first if you kind of half throttle it, and then you slam second mid wheelie and it just keeps carrying it all the way through the gear. That's like the coolest thing. I can do that all day long. But I'm almost to the house. We'll go over that. I got this thing rolling right now just to kind of see what it looks like. And yeah, we'll go over the time slips and break it down miles per hour versus this, that. So it'll show 60 foot, 0 to 60, 330 foot, 1,000 foot, quarter mile, it'll do half mile, which I didn't run it out a half mile, but it gives you everything. You can even do a 1 mile run if you want. It gives you everything in between. So we'll do that. See what happens. Okay. Now, stick the Dragy back up here. We'll go over a few things on that. Okay, so we go me, history. So we got quarter mile, 3 runs, 14.42 at 99 was my car. This is the first run with the CT70, so it says valid, which means the road was flat enough. It was only a 0.2 degree decline and slope. Let's see, 60 foot, 2.4 seconds, 330 foot, 6.56 seconds, 8th mile, 10.3 at 63, 1,000 foot, 13.8 at 66.9, and a quarter mile was a 17.0 at 68. I was hoping for at least in the 70s for the final mile per hour, but still pretty happy with that. Then we'll go to the other one, the one that was a little bit better. Okay, so that was a lot better. 60 foot, 2.2, launched it a little better there. 330 foot, 6.42. 8th mile was a 10.1 at 64.6. So now my new goal is to get a 9, somewhere in the 9s for the 8th mile. 10 was my goal and got that first try, so that's good. 1,000 foot was a 13.5 at 69, so that's a lot better mile per hour. Quarter mile, 16.59 at 73. That's what I wanted. So I'm super happy with that. I don't know if you can see that very good, but there's all the information. I'm going to save it. And then you can even break it down to, like if you just want to see the 8th mile, it'll show you the 8th mile runs. So it just gives you everything for the 8th mile. Oh, that was my car. I was going to say, my bike did not trap a 79 mile per hour in the 8th. That was my car. This, I must just only have, oh, these are the bike right here. It's under 10 seconds was the other category. So if you think about it, my car, a Nissan Skyline, inline 6, turbocharged, rear-wheel drive, that thing, 330 foots and 6.4 and 8th miles at 9.6 at 79. If I can get my bike somewhere toward the 9.6 and the 8th mile versus a Nissan Skyline, I mean, it's pretty stock. It only makes like 220 horsepower, so it's nothing to brag about. But this was also an invalid run because it was a negative 1.29 degree slope. So even that little bit of decline on the road, it'll tell you it's not a valid run because they want you to keep it on a flat road, which is cool, but still. So that was my car going slightly, very slightly downhill, getting those numbers, versus the bike on flat road. So there you have it. We'll do a lot more. I'm going to play around a lot more with this. I wanted one for a while, figured why not. It's cool to get information from this, information for the car. I mean, you can put this on any of my buddies' bikes. They can get their times, any of their cars. You can basically race each other, time slip for time slip, without physically racing each other. That's what's pretty cool about it. And the numbers are pretty accurate. So there you have it. I'm going to go make a pizza.